Welcome back, everyone, to River and Sea, where last time we were able to catch up with Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, but now it's time for us to get back to business with Gandalf and Eomer. What do you say, sir?
I have been given my freedom, and now I ride to war with my king.
It is a far better day into which I walk than the one I left. We will show Saruman that Rohan is strong. For too long he has done as he will, but now we will remind him that this land is not his to despoil. My road leads west with the king, but he has asked you to assist Eowyn and Edoras. I am certain that there will be no lack of deeds that will need doing, but if you have an opportunity, perhaps you can see how fares Alberg and Eastfold. The town is my home, and it would be a comfort to my mind to know that you have kept an eye on it. Oh, there is no hurry. Assist Eowyn with her preparations here first, but keep Aldburg in mind while I'm away, if you would. All right. More work to be done. I'm sure more quests to be added to the epic queue. Well, what do you say, Gandalf? Mithrandir, or whatever name you're using today?
It is good that Theoden takes action to protect his people.
Saruman's greatest ally for these past months has been the inaction of Theoden, sown by the whisperings of Wormtongue. How many orcs were given free passage across the fields of Rohan? Even one would be too many, and it was much more than a single orc. I mean, yeah, there was an entire battalion of Uruks that ran across it. I do not say that Theoden rides to victory. It is a good that he has come forth, but the armies of Saruman are vast, and I don't know if the Rohirrim can meet them on the field. Oh? So, what do we do then?
For too long have I stayed beneath the roof of my hall.
No more will I delay. I will ride forth to Isengard with my warriors, and we will remind Saruman that the Rohirrim still live. My sister-daughter Eowyn will chafe at my command. Let she remain behind and make the people ready to leave Edoras. I know that, but she will carry out my wish. Speak with her outside the Golden Hall, and lend her what aid that you may on this. In other words, all the arduous tasks are going to go to me, because that's what always happens, right? Well, let's go to speak with her. It looks peaceful for the moment, but how long's that going to last?
There is no honor in this. Why must I stay behind?
Why must I remain behind while my brother and my uncle ride to war? Do they care more for Rohan than do I? No, I would fight as hard as the people of Mark as any man, and mayhap with even greater ferocity. I will do as my king commands, Pine-Sea. This duty has been given to me, and I will carry it out as best I may, though it not be my desire. None will say that Eowyn betrayed the word of the king. I will protect the people of Vaderas and see them to safety, while this battle rages elsewhere. It may come to us in the end, and if it does, I will be ready. I will need your help in the meantime. Okay, fine. Eowyn's ire, her displeasure, and her... Boy! None of these talk about her happiness and her joy or anything like that. Okay, fine. My rings are out of date.
There are many things to do before the people can leave for Dunharrow.
Yeah, it's like for me, first thing I do is to don this new ring. Alright, there are many things to do before the people leave for Edoras. For Dunharrow, my uncle's command must be brought to the townsfolk. Wagons must be loaded with provisions, belongings gathered, and there are like to be some naysayers who refuse to follow the king's will. Take this proclamation and read it before the people at several locations throughout the city. Start with the market north of the Mediceld steps, and then work down through the streets of Edoras. Word will spread quickly. It has already begun to do so. But the king's command must be brought to the people so the preparations for the departure can be made. Not everyone will be pleased with this. Be kind if you can, but keep your resolve strong. This must be done. The king has commanded it. All right, read the proclamation aloud at the market north of Meadowseld. That will be down there, I guess. Well, okay, I guess that means we'll head down. Here we are at the market. The market is a good place to read the proclamation. All right. Hear ye! Hear ye! Let's read this proclamation. You read the proclamation aloud, and several people nearby begin to mutter. Oh, what is this? You had something to say? Really? Okay, fine. You agree to leave the city. That's good to hear. Did I hear a mumble here? Really? Edward grumbles but reluctantly agrees to leave Vaderas. Okay, good. Let's head to the northwest. That's this way, I guess? And that's where the arrow is pointing. I think we're getting to a nice location for the next reading. Yeah, these stairs are a good place to read the proclamation. Hear ye, hear ye! Read the proclamation aloud, and there's an old woman seems to catch your eye. Well, hopefully she isn't going to be making a fuss. Hello?
Do you have a time to spare an old woman, tidings bearer?
I have heard the commands of Theoden King and would obey, but it has been many years since Ethrith felt the bloom of youth, and I don't have the strength that I once did. My belongings are bundled in this crate, but I cannot carry it down the hill to the Dunharrow wagon without help. The wagon is to the north of here, if you will follow the road. Okay, can you bring my possessions to the wagon north of here? Just follow the road. Ethrith will be in your debt. Okay, well, I suppose that I'll have to do that. Let's see, that's to the north. That will be, no, that's to the east. This way. Okay. Oh, these are the stairs they were talking about. I was wondering where the stairs were. All right. The wonders of quest instructions sometimes. Well then, let's hope I am more able to see the destiny. I will presume that this is the Dunharrow cart. I hope that she has this thing properly labeled. There we go. Now, I suppose we need to find the next location. They said read the proclamation aloud at the entrance courtyard in the northwest of the city. So that will be near Shadowfax then, right? Assuming Shadowfax. The entrance to the courtyard is a good place to read the proclamation. Yeah. Hear ye, hear ye. Here's a command from the king. You read the proclamation aloud, and a small child seeks to catch your eye. Oh, is this child going to be a nuisance?
Everyone must obey the word of Theoden King.
I heard you read the words of Theoden King, and I know everyone who is not going to fight needs to leave Vaderas. But those men over there were laughing, and I heard them insult the name of the king. You're not going to let them escape justice, are you? Everyone has to obey the word of Theoden King. Okay, well, I will verify this. We need not jump to conclusions. They could have been laughing at some completely unrelated thing, right? Yeah, that's always a possibility.
What gives you the right to order us out of our homes?
Maybe those are the commands of Theoden, or maybe they are not. Maybe they're the words of Gandalf. Maybe the wizard is working against us and just wants the treasures for himself. Do you not say the trouble follows him wherever he goes? I will teach you a lesson, little child. I will teach you what happens when you do the bidding of wizards. Well, I'm trying to say, should I fight him because he just insulted me, or just because called me a child? Now you will suffer! Yeah, right. Well, let's see. Where to next? I am supposed to read this at a courtyard with 2 stairs. Well, here are 2 stairs right here, so this looks like the courtyard in question. By these stairs is a good place to read the proclamation. Alright, here are a couple over here. Hear ye! Hear ye! You read the proclamation loudly, and several people nearby begin to grumble. Oh, always a problem. Are you really going to give me trouble? Harith listens to your words and eventually agrees to obey the king. Alright. Harith? Is his name Himith? Okay. Cullinan. Yes, after a brief discussion, he agrees to leave Adoras. Okay, good. We are done with this. Proclamation presented and dissenters quelled.
It will be some time before all the people are ready to leave, but this is a start.
It's a start already, but every journey must begin with preparations, especially one as important as this. Well, I suppose you got a point there. Alright, the gloves of expulsion. Oh boy. That doesn't seem to be much of an improvement on there. Oh, actually, the vitality goes way up in there. Alright, I suppose that'll work. Or the other possibility is this. That's 105 agility. Okay, we'll take that one.
Grima has fled the city, but I believe some of his allies remain.
There are still so many tasks that must see to completion before the people are ready to leave Vaderas, but something worries me at the back of my mind and divides my attention. When you searched Grima's chambers with Hama, you told my uncle that the room was already in disarray, as if it had been searched before you arrived. Why would Grima leave his chamber in such a state? If he was seeking something specific, surely he would know where to find it. No, I think his room was searched by someone entangled deeply within his schemes. Grima has fled the city, but it is my belief that this ally at least remains. Among the papers that you collected was the cryptic phrase, "No mere wit, he," and a number of other writings. I don't know what they mean, but mention is made of a number of locations throughout Adoras. Go to some of these and see if you can find signs of Grima's friends or allies. Okay, so search the locations mentioned on Grima's writings. Fortunately, I have Grima's writings with me. So let's see what it says. None of us are doing this for free, Worm. Remember what we expect to be paid well for our services. If you think that we're common brigands, you aren't as sharp a blade as you carry around. If you aren't careful, you'll find it in your back next, and maybe the old man will find another to do his bidding. Maybe that's one of us. You say you can't grant me the burg, but I'm not dealing with a sword of jewels of my own. If the old man values you as you say he does, why is he not giving you the run of the place once it's all done? L. So, okay, some person called L. On another parchment in the same hand. F says that he's been bring his weapons out of the guardhouse on the morrow and leave them by the side of the wall. And you are certain that the king will stay inside? We have not seen him in weeks, but he does still command the loyalty of his people. Only he can stop this now that E is imprisoned. Okay, E I assume is Aomer. F assures me that E will not be a problem. He spends day and night poring over that map, raging against the confines, but will not disobey the king. So it sounds like then that F is someone related to the guards, maybe one of the guards, or a loyal, or a, or an officer of the guards that's loyal to Grima. All right, let's see. We have a scrap of parchment in a different hand. The Blood Eye thinks that we should act quickly. He says Gandalf is coming back. How could he know this? H. The Blood Eyes. Okay, there's someone called. I never thought of there's someone being called the Blood Eye. I had never noticed that before because, of course, the Blood Eye becomes important later on. So that's later on we deal with the Blood Eye, but not today, I think. This page is almost illegible, written by a hasty hand. Which tower? There are several along the northeast wall of the city. I don't know if L is going to put the wood in the proper tower. You need to talk to him before we act. H wanted me to ask about the contents of the chest as well. You say that it will burn, but it is very sturdy and may not spread to the southeast gate. If the chest burns, but the fire does not spread, H says it'll be your head. F. Alright, so we're saying around the southeast tower? Southeast gate. Okay, let's go to the southeast gate and see if there's anything funny over there. I believe that this is where I'm going to be finding the southeast gate as soon as I swing around. Well, here's the gate right over here, and wait a minute. What's this? Oh, that looks suspicious, and it's a bit scorched. Good. The strong box is scorched, and after it's set on fire, but the blaze did not spread. Living was an ally of Wormtongue, but there are others. Well, I guess she must be L. In searching the towers, I see that there is some wood over here. Is this the wood that was supposed to be next to the chest so that the fire was spread or something like that? If that's true, they're really, really not coordinated, fortunately. Well, so much for Hebecca, another ally of Wormtongue. Now, let's see if we can find that location where they were dropping off the weapons. We need to deal with those now. Here's the guardhouse. Now, if the weapons are inside, all is well, but we'll check the sides of the wall to see if somebody moved some weapons. Ooh, it looks like it does. Well, they're going to have to. The weapons are out of place. Why were they moved here? Well, other than the fact that the letter implied that somebody would. Now we've taken care of H and L. There is still, of course, Blood Eye or whatever they called that person. Yes, Blood Eye. So that's someone that we'll eventually have to deal with. But this is not the day. I accounted for a couple of the worm's friends, it seems like, and foiled a couple of plots.
You found some of Grima's allies and defeated them? Good.
Those snakes would have caused us trouble, especially once my uncle rised to Isengard. I hope that was all of them. Well, there's still Blood Eye to worry about. I still don't understand all of the mysteries that you uncovered in Grimmy's chambers, but perhaps we have ended the schemes that were plotted here. My uncle and his riders are ready to depart. All right, they are ready to go. Oh, I get one of these bracelets, right? Bracelet of conspiracy. Ooh. I have so many things out of date.
My preparations continue, but my uncle's are complete.
Yes, now my uncle rides to Isengard and to war. I will remain behind as he has commanded, but my thoughts will dwell upon him until his return. Enter the Golden Hall and see if he has further commands for those of us who will remain behind. All right? It is time for Theoden to depart. Well, at least it will be time when we return for the next episode of River and Sea.